Ooh, okay. All right, we're doing some sculpting today. Now I'm sculpting some parts for a lion. As well as trying to finish the male lion. All right, so I'm just doing the inside of the female lion's jaw. So gap. All right, so just do some preliminary little dots where I want those canines to go. So I'm using a combination of different colors for this one. So I'm using black initially for the inside gum line sort of thing. For the teeth, I'm going to use translucent Sculpting, which has a little piece of fluff on it. So I would like to get off. So I want to try and get as much sculpting on these lines done, but at least try and get the male lion finished. I'm not sort of halfway finished sculpting it because I have to bake a whole bunch of things. So here's the male lion so far. It's going to have a bit of a regal face. And the female lion's going to have a bit more of a snarly face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, because these are really small. Just going to sculpt the front teeth just out of a straight run. Okay. And I'm going to place it here. That right there. And then you're going to blend it in. Now the front, the two teeth on either side are quite tall and kind of pointy. So there's 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've done some little marks. All right, so it's really tiny little bit of detail, so it's kind of hard to catch on camera. But I'm just basically mapping out where I want these little teeth to go. And that canine one bigger. So I'm using a little needle tool. Thanks for the follow. I'm using a little needle tool to sort of sculpt out some little teeth at the front here. And they need to be blended in to the gum line. Okay, so I'm going to use my tweezers to pinch up a clean pair. To pinch up, to make them a bit pointy. Just slightly. Okay. And then I want to remove some of this back here. So I'm going to get my little Stanley knife thing and just cut a tiny bit off. Sort of round it, I reckon. like so. Hey Dizzy and B-Bones, how are you guys? All right. And I'm going to pinch those together to make a point. Boop. All right. So there's our front teeth. So I'm going to do the canines next. Thanks for the follow. Not sure if TikTok's doing its thing again. Right, so for the canines, I am rolling out a piece of that translucent Sculpey, which I'm going to shape into a rough canine by just pinching that end there. What animal am I making? I'm just doing the inside parts for the female lion, which I've done the bottom, the lower portion of it, and it's going to have like a snarling sort of face. So yeah, sort of have to sculpt the top and the bottom jaws because they're both going to be visible. So I'm just sculpting the top of the jaw this time. And that's the canine. So now with the top jaw, that canine has a little gap next to the two small teeth. So that's for the lower canines to fit in. So we need to make sure we've got that gap there, even though it's not going to be opposable jaw. I suppose I could make it one, but I want a snarling look. But I'll see how I feel. I wasn't planning on doing an opposable jaw, but you know, maybe not. It's quite a small jaw, so I don't exactly know if the snarling look is going to look good either. All right, so we want a gap here. And I'm just trying to blend it in to the rest of the head. Okay. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. So, yeah, the little snarling jaw is supposed to be like this. And then, yeah, sort of a bit more open. So it'll sort of sit like that, I think. And then obviously I'll make that snarling face on it. So the only other detail I'm going to add is a little bit of the gum line. So actually I'm just going to use my ball tool and just create some little ridges. Some little ridges, and that creates like that detailing effect, even though you're probably not going to see this anyway. But that's okay. Okay. Push it up a little bit. But we're not going to see this, so there's no point going into too much detail. All right, so yeah, I think that's a little bit going to be a little bit curved. So this needs to be baked in the oven now, this pear, before I can do any more sculpting on that. And there's no point doing the back teeth to it either because it's not going to be seen. So I'm going to skip that. Okay, that can go. I reckon that can go on my tray. Building up a tray of stuff to bake. All right, so I'm going to try and finish this line. Now, I need to get to my lines. I think I accidentally closed all my line reference images, which is getting a bit annoying. So the eyes I have some tiny little yellow ones. Tiny little yellow eyes. It's a dirty piece. Which are going to be for this line. So there's still quite a bit of work on this one. If I can get the lines, no. I closed all my line references. Yeah, these lines are going to be small. I should have this prepared, actually. So with these lines, I wanted these to be like a little bit regal, you could call it. So I've left this sitting around for a little while and the clay becomes a little bit brittle, which is annoying. So anything that I do to move it, it sort of starts cracking. So I'm just really a bit careful moving stuff around. Yeah. I think that's slightly smaller. They've got quite long faces as well. I'm going to use this one as a reference. All right, to get my reference images back up, so just bear with me 2 seconds. So that's one of them. And I need a side one, so bear with me. So I can't find a good reference of like a lion with a mouth open on the side. So I'm sort of making it up as I go. And I mean, some lions have really like angular heads as well, and some of them are a bit smaller. They're a bit weird. This one. That's the one. Copy. All right. New. Bear with me for a sec. Just getting the everything open. Is that the right size? Okay, that has to sort of come forward. That's interesting. This whole jaw has to come forward. Interesting. I'm going to do one more. Okay, so I actually have to change this jaw, which is a bit frustrating. I have to move it forward. This one. No, I might not have to because it is open. Okay. I might not have to. Jaw has to sort of come out here. This lower part. Is that the image I've got open? Yeah. I'm just comparing my lion sculpt, revisiting so far. Hey, Sacre Bleu. You're currently making fan art for me? Oh, stop. I literally opened an image of one with the mouth open. I can't find it. There, this one? This one. Crazy. All right, last image. Oops. Now, this one has, I might not need to change that jaw because the references I'm looking at don't have an open jaw. And it sort of pushes back a little bit when it's open. I do have to build this bit up here. That's what I have to do. And I might actually use a little bit of black for the gum line. A blue medieval cat, yes. See? All right, I've got my references up. Okay. I've made 3 medieval cats. So that's the blue one. All right, so I'm just going to build this jaw up a little bit. So it needs to be that image is too big. Down. Okay. So I'm going to bring this jaw out a little bit this way. So see how I start moving things? It starts cracking because I've left it for a little while, so it's not malleable like it was. Thanks for the likes. The crowned blue cat, it's called Duke of Whiskers. I don't know who's banging around outside, but it's annoying. Alright, so I'm just adding a little bit onto this lower jaw here. And blend that in. Like so. Okay. He's banging around out there. Thanks for the follow. Alright. Got my silicone tool. If do we think this is? Now their lip line is really like sloppy jalops. I'm just going to open that a little bit. I think. The mouth always reminds me of like one of those really big dogs, like a Great Dane, that have slopper chops. They look like slobber chops. Okay. So the jaws kind of come out a little bit. I do think it's a bit too pointy. So it's always a pain in the ass because it's been sitting there and I'm trying to sort of drag it down. It's sort of starting to, I guess, break up a little bit. So you just have to do a bit more smoothing, which is a bit annoying. Now we need a little bit. Not too bad actually. So I'm not going to bring this out as far as it needs to go. I'm going to do that when I add the fur on top of it. if I bring it out too far and then I add fur, it's too big, so I have to make it a bit smaller. Have you ever tried using baby oil? Yes, I have. For ones that need to be sort of conditioned a bit more, but sometimes it can make it too soft. But yes, I have done that before. But I generally, if the sculpt is like old enough that it needs baby oil, I end up chucking it. Just start again, get a new one. All right, so I'll add the lip line once I've done the rest of the head. I'm going to fill in this little weird divot there. All right, so I'm going to do, needs a bit more here. Needs a bit of a ridge, so I'm going to add a little bit more of a ridge here. Curl it down. You can get Sculpting brand conditioner as well, which I've never tried, but that's supposed to help. Then you get oily hands. Just it's easier just to use a pasta roller. Just chuck it in a pasta roller and Bob's your uncle. All right, and I'll add more to that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is mark where I want the eyes to go. My ball tool. So I've got some reference images. Now, one there. So roughly here. So I mark initially where I want them to go by looking at forward-facing reference images. So I put in 2 little sort of marks there. Thanks for the likes. And then I check on the side if they're going to sit properly. Okay, so I'm going to push them back here a little bit. Back here a little bit. So then you're starting to see where the eye structure is going to be. And then I'll start building up on top of that. So just going to start carving out a little bit of a water line. We call it tear duct with my little loop tool. Loop tool's been through some stuff. Alright. Oh, I still haven't got that out of there. Let me just... I keep my cards full, and I only have 1 card. And I keep forgetting to download the stuff off it. I'm doing it now. Doing it now. Because then I miss a whole lot of filming, which is really annoying. No, not that one. I don't even know what's on here. Oh, all my medieval cat photos. So they're ready to be edited. Anyway, I'll let that run. You finished my fan art. It's on my posts. I'll check it out. Check it out on YouTube or Instagram or something. Anyway, all right. So for the eye sockets, I'm going to have to film with my other camera, which is a bit annoying. Not ideal, but is what it is. All right. So with the eye sockets, I'm just going to get out 2 equal parts of clay and basically make an eye socket out of it by sticking it on there. Because these cabochons are flat backed, I need to sort of bring it up a little bit so they have somewhere to sit. and they can sit straight up like so. It's on your YouTube. All right, I'll check it out. And then, so I've made these tiny little eyes. They're sort of yellow. And I'm going to place them here. I want them to sit pretty straight up as well. So just play around with the way they sit. And when I made these eyes, I placed the pupil up a little bit so I could do a bit more of a softer look. So if you place the pupil up a little bit, you can use the eyelid to create like a bit more of a softer look rather than like taking the pupil taking up the whole space. So, all right. How are we looking? And then it's important to look at it from all angles because sometimes the cabochon isn't sitting in the same direction as the one next to it. So you want to make sure they're sitting correctly, symmetrically. So some eyes. Yeah. I'm going to just double check they're sitting in the right spots. And this one needs to come over a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm just going to clear that tear duct a little bit and just push it over a tiny bit. So I'm checking front on if they're sitting in the same spot. That's pretty good. And the side view. Now the side view can be pushed back a little bit. So I'm going to push them back by just pushing in a little bit. Okay, so I'll push them in, back. I think they're sitting okay now. I think they're sitting okay. Now, I think they're a little bit too high on the top of the head, I reckon. So they're sitting up here too much. I think they need to be sitting down here a little bit more. So I'm just going to push them down a little bit and then get my tear duct again. So sometimes you just have to go back and forth to get in the right spot. My baby monitor's gone funny. Sometimes it drops out and sometimes it doesn't. Actually, I think my internet might have dropped out or something. Okay. Because my music's turned off now too. Right, anyway, back on track, sorry. All right, let's check that. So now that I've moved it, the eyes are gone a little bit out of place, so I'm just going to bring them back to where they should be sitting. Check again. Good. I think that's good. All right. Now they've got a pretty angular little structure here, so I'm just going to smooth this a little bit, bring it out. So this tool is a little sort of loop pointy tool, and it's really good for getting into those tear ducts. This little section here to make the tear ducts. I don't know what's going on with my music here. Can't work without music. I don't know. Anyway. Now it's sort of created a little brow from that tear duct to begin with. So that's good. Little structure. Give me 2 seconds, TikTok. I'm just going to do a quick video. Alright. Okay, now we can do the, what do you call them? Eyelids? Mental blank. Alright. I don't know what's going on with my music here, but alright, so for the eyelids, I'm just going to roll out a thin piece of clay. Could do it black, but I feel like it's going to get washy anyway. I'll just paint it. So, rolling out a worm. Relatively thin because this is a small doll, so it's going to have small eyelids. This jaw is crooked. It's too heavy on that side. If you see something, fix it. It's a bit heavy on this side. Okay. Now, the eye sockets are I think they're actually kind of rounded. Just going to check. Lion eyes. So if you want a close-up reference of an image, just Google it. It doesn't have to be the same doll, but just Google what you're wanting to replicate and get a close-up version of it. So the eyes, sort of, there's so many AI images and it's so annoying. Want a real one. This AI crap. All right. Now the actual waterline actually goes around the doll. So I'm going to do a waterline, do a basic shape to begin with. And just lay it on there. Oh, this is way too thick as well, which I will use my needle tool. What's going on here? All right. So I'm just going to use my needle tool to create a little thin one that goes up in the corner. And then this will become part of the rest of the doll. Get my silicone tool to go around. All right, so he kind of looks a little bit sad and worried at the moment. But have I missed anything? No, not really. You've just missed my music not working, which is frustrating, and me trying to find reference images, so not much at all. Okay. If I close that and then reopen it. Now, for the top one, so I reckon I'll have to play around a little bit with this top lid. So it's sort of going to bend this bit and then lay it on top. So sometimes small eyes are a little bit harder to play around with. But when you look at it from the side profile, it has to sort of wrap around a little bit. So, and this bit has to sit here like that, but it also has to come down this way. So I need to add another piece. So if you pull up this corner of the, can't quite tell on TikTok, if you pull up this corner here, you get a bit more of a sadder look. And on YouTube. So if you pull up this corner here, you get a bit more of a sadder look. I don't really want a sad look though. So what I'm going to do is pull that corner down. If you pull it down, you get more of a fiercer sort of look to it. Thanks for the likes, mate. I can't quite tell on TikTok, but it's a little bit more of a fiercer look than obviously the one that doesn't have anything. YouTube. I can't get the little bit in the front. Oh my god. There we go. Can't quite tell. The lighting's awful. Alright, so this is why I take the videos and then has this finished? Just checking if my stuff's finished. Yes, it is. Finished downloading. Where did I put it? Artdolls. Okay, it's all there. All right, we're deleting. I'm getting my camera back. The camera thing back. This is the worst live stream. Sorry, guys. But I need my camera. I'm going to stop this one, actually. There was 266 items in that. I think this lion's going to turn out nice. Nice long face, I think. Okay. Yay. Yay! It's not dropping in the glass of water like I did the battery for it. Okay. Go away now. I don't know what's happening with my speakers here. I can hear it working somewhere else, but everything's just not working. Office. I don't know, it's not working. Anyway, so the next side. Again, I'm just going to roll out that tip. To a point, and sort of curl it over just before I put it on. Oops. So it's got a little bit of roundness to it. When you've got nails, sometimes it's too hard to get your fingers in there. All right, so we want to match it up to the other side. And that goes up to here. Chop it off. And because that's a really thin eyelid, I'm just going to blend that in. And my little ball tool, I'll blend that into the rest of the head. Same deal here. And I'm going to pull that down, it's too high. All right, next part is that top lid, which is the same deal. In there, I'll have to add an extra part here just to bring that brow line down. And that needs to go sort of around. So I don't know how well you can tell in here. Probably not very. I'll have to do a separate sort of video on some expressions. Okay, blend that. I'll push that corner down so it's a little bit more get a bit more fierceness. Right, I'm not going to go too far into details with those eyelids because I'll probably end up mashing them around anyway when I put the rest of the stuff on. So okay, I've got my music working now. All right, now that top brow, we need a bigger piece of clay. Then I have pretty pronounced brows, so kind of have to build up that brow line a little bit. So I'm just going to pull that and pull that up. With the likes, now I'm rolling out that little bit of clay again. Do you make the eyes yourself or do you buy them? I do both actually. So these lion ones I've made. These ones for the medieval cat I bought. but they're all capuchons basically. Sometimes I paint them, sometimes I print out on photo paper a particular eye. So for the demi-guys that I've just sculpted, I printed them out as well. Same eyes actually, different scale. So yeah, bit of both. I keep noticing this is off all the time. It's annoying me. Sorry. What's the figure today? This one, I'm trying to finish that male lion that I've been neglecting a little bit. So I've got a whole tray full of things that need to be baked. So I wanted to finish this rather than it sitting around all for the rest of God knows how long. So we're building up a brow line today. So I'm actually going to do something a little different here. I need to cut off a little bit of clay and add it to here before I do anything next. Same deal here. Down. Alright, so I wanted to build up that tear duct line, I guess. Alright, now for the brow. So they got a pretty harsh brow. So again, this is why I don't go too much detail doing the eyelids. It just gets mashed around. So I want it flat a little bit. So I'm just building up that brow on that side. Dang. Again with the brow, I'm gonna sit that on top to bring it in a little bit actually. And cut it off. Now their brows sort of so push it down actually. It creates a bit more of a meaner look. I like that meaner look actually. What am I making? I am doing a lion now. So I'm doing the male lion. It's been sitting around here for ages, so it's kind of like this nastier look to it. Do I want that way? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do a nasty one. We'll see how I feel when I do the female one. The female one's going to have a snarling face. Cool. All right, so I'm going to do, they have quite pronounced foreheads as well, so that needs to be built up here. So I'll do that now. I'm doing a male and a female line, so I'm going to make the female one a bit spicier. All right. So they've got like a line here where the brows meet, so that's what we want to do. So really rough shape. Even if it's too much, I can remove some. So I'll start off by doing this first. You can always spread it around. Probably too ambitious with that amount of clay, actually. Because this clay is so soft and the eyes are really small, I have to be careful not to squish the eyes down too much. So then I have to keep opening them, which is not ideal. So just mushing that clay around to get the right angle. And just going to add a little bit more clay on here because we sort of lost that bit of detail. All right, so we sort of got one side here. Does the saga of the medieval cats continue? Well, they are finished. So I'm going to put them up in my shop this week. Thursday or Friday, I think. But they'll go up for early access to Patreon first. Yeah, they're finished. But I will be doing more. I just have to get these commissions done first. And then, yeah, obviously these lions, and I've got the chameleon, but I will sculpt some more very, very soon. So there will be more sagas. 100%. Don't like this. It is not smooth. We want it smooth. I have to edit the pictures and stuff. Do a couple more videos. I haven't done any editing of any videos. So I want to do a couple more stop motions with like each one individually. But I think maybe I'll do, I don't know, I have so many projects that I want to do in no time. I think I might do the cat series that I want to do. I think I want to do those dolls first before I do a whole new set of medieval cats, just to get it out of my head. Get it in a physical form. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to add a bit more to this hive. So there, a little bit there. And then a bit more here. So many like little differences for each big cat. Now that I've sculpted most of them, there's like little differences that make them the type of cat they are. Mine's a very long face. Long, slobbery, choppy, long slobber chops. Long head, long snout, muzzle, whatever you want to call it. Little eyes. Blend this little bit in. It needs to have an indentation in this little section here. Just sort of after that brow line, there's like an indentation that goes in here on both sides, obviously. And then it sort of frames the eyes. That's what it does. And then this here. So with this one, this side has to come up a tiny bit. Sometimes it's tough getting the same angling on each eye, but I think we're getting there. Not bad. Okay. And we want this line to be in the middle of the head, not off to the side. So the line needs to go straight down the middle here. So we need to fill this little bit here and blend that. I don't bother doing too much detail work on these because I'm covering it with fur anyway, so there is no point doing really fine details and then trying to replicate that with the fur. All right. Bit of a short and sweet live today. Okay. So check that out on our reference images. And I think the brow has to come out a little bit to here, to be honest. About there. So if you look at it from the side view, it's too concave here. It needs to come out, even though it needs to come out here a little bit. Build that section up there. I'll quickly do that bit. Roughly the same amount. We still need to maintain that groove there, so just blend that in, and that takes it out a little bit, and then yeah, like that. Again, put it in there. Because this is really soft, I can just blend it in nicely. Anyway. Like that. All right. Okay, we're about there. Looking good. Anyway, I'm gonna have to jump off now. So I will be back. I'm gonna try and finish this during the week. And I will be back on Thursday, so a few days from now, unfortunately. But during the week I'll try and finish this, and I'll have more stop motions. So these guys are going to go up this week too. So my medieval cats. So keep an eye out for that. I'll do posts everywhere, so you can't miss it. And yeah, so I've got 3 medieval cats. And yeah, thanks for joining me, YouTube. I will catch you later.